Yes, guys, welcome to my Prem Verdict, where I just review some of the Premier League games over the weekend, give you some thoughts on performances, some of the teams, and yeah, look, I just love talking football, so I thought I'd have a little chat about what I saw over the weekend. Guys, please smash the like button, please subscribe if you haven't, much appreciated. Let's get into it. Liverpool Bournemouth at the weekend on the Friday. That started that Friday night game. What an entertaining match. Liverpool winning 4-2. Bournemouth turned up at Anfield and really had a go. Liverpool was such like an open midfield, no defensive midfielder in there, but they just attack you, don't they? Attack, attack, attack. They've got goals in them from midfield. Their front line, Hugo with a debut goal. And look, Liverpool, it's tough, isn't it, when you go to Anfield, even though Bournemouth really did put up a good fight. Semedo, after taking that racial abuse, um, what character from him to score that fantastic solo goal. And look, it's just Liverpool had too much for Bournemouth in the end. But yeah, Bournemouth can hold their heads high. They didn't go with a low block. If you look at their the player positioning, quite a high line. And look, they had a right go at Liverpool and had them up the ropes at a certain point in that game. Liverpool showed some defensive vulnerabilities, but they've got so much attacking talent, and you're going to see Liverpool score many goals this season, and there'll be in many games like this where they'll outscore you. That's the problem, isn't it? You may be able to get goals, but Liverpool are always going to be a danger. And if they add Isaac to that side, yeah, they're going to be a tough team to beat. But I think Liverpool need to tighten up a bit. They will face better teams, and teams will be set up very organised to make it hard for Liverpool to score. And look, and they will get at that Liverpool back line. I'm sure they will prove defensively throughout the season. Maybe they need to invest in that back line. They've already spent a lot of money, so I'm not sure. Yeah, look, Liverpool, one of the favourites for the Premier League again. Bournemouth put up a good fight, did what they could, but in the end, Liverpool went out 4-2. Moving on to Saturday, boring game, Villa versus Newcastle. Newcastle had the better of it. Villa had a man sent off, Konza, in the second half. I think around 66 minutes, but Villa managed to kind of keep the clean sheet, didn't offer much at all as an attacking threat. Newcastle, people say that they miss Isaac, um, you know, missing a striker up there. Gordon's playing up front for them at the moment. Newcastle were the better team overall, but they couldn't break down Aston Villa. Onana had a really good game for Villa. Game drew in the end, 0-0, point shared. Both teams will be in and around those European positions this season. But I think both of them do need to invest. They need to improve their squad by the end of the transfer window to really help them sides. Good sides, good Premier League sides, good managers. They'll be up there, thereabouts. It really depends on their kind of squad strength throughout the season, managing the different competitions they're in. But look, two good sides. I think Villa will improve, but I think they do. Both sides need some investment before the end of window. I mean, investment in bringing in players to the side to help them two teams. Brighton Fulham ended 1-1. Not a lot in that game. Brighton probably edged it. Fulham with a late goal. Sunderland beating West Ham 3-0. What a start for Sunderland being back in the Premier League. Don't know how many years it's been. I think it's about 9 years. Stadium light, great atmosphere. 3 goals in the second half. West Ham very, very disappointing. I think they had a good chance early on, but yeah, Sunderland did so well, and West Ham fans are really worried about the season. Haven't really spent much money. They had one signing in there, who I think was Kudos replacement, but yeah, really, really angry West Ham fans, and are really worried about the season ahead. And again, they need to go out and buy a couple more players before the end of the transfer window. Oh, it could be a tough old season for them. Sunderland, they've invested in some players to help them stay in the Premier League. Going to be tough for them. Any promoted side coming up is really difficult. But what a start! What a start for their fans. 3-0, and they take a very comfortable victory on the opening day of the season. It's Tottenham Burnley. I spoke about that the other day. Spurs overpowering Burnley in the end, 3-0. Fantastic performances from Richarlison and Kudos. Really good performance from Sarr as well. Spurs did give Burnley some of the play. I'm hoping, with Paulinia back in their Bentancur, that'll kind of secure us a bit more. But, Gray and Bergvall, they did okay. It was against Burnley, Frankfurt, we should be able to beat Burnley with those two players. And they grew into the game second half. But I want to see our best team week in, week out in the side. Um, so that, yeah, 3-0 Spurs. Good start under Frank. Let's move over to Wolverhampton versus Man City. Late kickoff Saturday afternoon. City, it was a stroll for them, weren't it? 4-0. Well, Wolves did have some chances. City's keeper made some good saves. But again, another good start to City's season there. They mean business this year. Their new signings playing well. Reinders, outstanding. Um, Cherky scoring as well. Haaland 2 goals. And yeah, quality goals from City. We had a really good first half. And they're just clinical. They're just clinical. Wolves had some chances, as I said, but couldn't score. And yeah, comfortable victory in the end for City, 4-0. Look, they'll be up there. They will be up there this season and challenging with the title with Liverpool, maybe Arsenal. I'm not sure. Now, let's move on to that Arsenal Manchester United game at the weekend. Um, Ended Arsenal 1, Man United nil. Now, Arsenal fans weren't impressed with the performance. Defensively, they were good, but attack, they didn't offer much at all. They got a goal from a set piece from the corner kick. Man United had some good chances. I think Man United will be better this season. I think with some of those forward players that they signed, they're gonna click at some point and score lots of goals. Man United fans were encouraged with the performance, but frustrated with the goalie. A bit of a howler there, and they fans think they need another goalie. Um, Almerin coming up with some silly things though, coming out saying that, oh, after that performance, it shows us we can beat any team. Well, you didn't win the game, did you? Such a crazy thing to come out and say. Man United will get better this season, I think. Dominated the game, but just couldn't score against Arsenal. Arsenal, it's a good result, isn't it, going away at Old Trafford and winning? But Arsenal need to improve, especially in that attacking area. They weren't good at all. They really weren't. And Man United, although played better, failed to capitalise, didn't take their chances, and yeah, they lose again. Um, so yeah, Arsenal won, Man United nil, and then Nottingham Forest. Oh, I tell you what, they're doing things in the transfer market. I think they signed 4 players in the last week. They mean business. Brentford obviously losing Frank, new manager, inexperienced. They lost a couple of players. It's going to be so difficult for them. Nottingham Forest coming out 3-1 victors. Um, Thoroughly deserved to win the game. And look, Nottingham Forest, I think they can have another good season. They've got some good players, and Morgan Gibbs White had a good game. Um, Chris Wood scoring again. Look, I think they'll be a threat. I think they'll be not like really like winning the league, but I think they'll be a tough team to beat. And yeah, we'll see how they get on this season. The only other game, the last Premier League game was Chelsea. Well, actually, that was the game earlier on in the day. Chelsea nil, Palace nil. Eze goal from a free kick disallowed. Palace defended so well against Chelsea. Chelsea not really great going forward. They had some chances, just were a bit sloppy. And Palace, they're a difficult side to play against, aren't they? They've had some fantastic away results. In the last 10 games, they haven't lost and played some really big sides. And, Palace, could be losing Eze to Spurs. And, Glasner, what a good manager he is, managing to keep getting results. Um, Players linked out of the club. And look, he must be pulling his hair out, isn't he? Because, they just won the FA Cup. They won the Charity Shield. They want to go strength to strength, but they're losing top players, and yeah, it's really difficult for them, isn't it? What do they do? It's going to be really difficult for them to replace a player like Eze, who's their kind of the heartbeat of their side. And look, it looked like at the end there that he was saying goodbye to the supporters. So I do think that signing will eventually go through once Palace find a replacement for Eze. But look, back to Chelsea. Chelsea, after winning that Club World Cup, A lot of people have been talking them up this season. They've invested heavily again into the squad, signing a couple of forwards. Um, they will, look, they're a good side, Chelsea. Um, they've got a lot of talent. Again, disappointing though, weren't they, at the weekend there? But up against a very robust Palace side, defend with their lives. Got some good players in there: Mateta, Wharton, Guay at the back. What's that other player? The other centre back they got, Lacruz, something like that. Very, very organised side, Palace. Difficult side to play against. I think they're going to have a good season, but they do need to invest right. If they do, once they lose Eze, they need the quality in there. But again, Chelsea fans will be very disappointed with that performance, especially in that kind of, not taking their chances, not creating enough. And Palace could have won it on another day, right, with that free kick. A bit harsh for that to be disallowed. So look, that's the summary of the Premier League games from my perspective. Another game tonight: Leeds versus Everton. I wonder how Leeds are going to get on being back in the Premier League. But look, just a bit of a summary. It's going to be the same old teams challenging for that title: Liverpool, City, possibly Arsenal. Um, I think it's an opportunity for Spurs this season to really push up that league if they can keep investing into the squad. Just a little update because there's been some information out today about Spurs, and I know this is a talking about the Premier League review, but look, I can't not talk about my club. So what I've heard today is Daniel Levy is talking to Parish. They're trying to agree a deal, so it's coming along. Don't really learn much from that kind of report. You think that's going on anyway. Um, Again, the reports at the Palace will not let Eze go until they got a replacement, which is really frustrating because you just want to get Eze into the side as soon as possible, get him into the team, start getting used to the side for the big game against City at the weekend. Savinho, look, there was a report today saying that they want to keep him. I don't know, guys. Look, Spurs going for these two players, and you think, wow, Spurs mean business. But again, doesn't look like both are going to happen. And if they're not going for Savinho, what are they going to do? Who they're going to go and sign as a left winger? They obviously want another left winger because they wanted Savinho. So the club got to go and find someone else if Savinho's not going to be the guy. It's so frustrating. Just give City the money. They just paid up what they asked for. We could have had him in already now. Now there's kind of doubts around the signing. And look, it's not completely dead yet, but I don't know. I just can't see Spurs spending 68 odd million on Eze. I know the price is going to be lower on that we hear reported, and then going to spend 70 odd million on Savinho. I just can't see Spurs doing it. I really can't. And if they were going to do it, why don't they just pay what City wanted and then get him in? And it's just dragging on. Spurs just typical in the transfer market. Not they're just not quick enough. They're just not. They just way they deal with signings. They just drag out, drag out, drag out. Doubts, doubts, doubts. Man City maybe think, oh, we want to keep Sevilla now. I don't know. It's just Spurs. So frustrating when there's such an opportunity this season for Spurs to really push on. With a couple more quality signings. News that Romero signed a new contract. How are you feeling about that, guys? Are you happy about it? Looking at the reaction on social media, people are very happy. And Jed Spence signing a deal as well. Romero, the new club captain, new attitude. Let's see how he gets on this season. He is very injury prone. Well, that's going to have to be looked at. And his commitment to Spurs and not running off to Argentina when there's an international, we'll have to see. Big responsibility for Romero being club captain. I like Romero. I do. I think on his day, defensively, he can be fantastic. He's great at passing it out from the back. He has got that head loss moment in him. He's a passionate guy, wants to win. He's won trophies. And I'm hoping that Frank can improve his game. I really do. And I think that, this season, I think Frank will improve some players. We've already seen signs of it already from likes of Sarr. He looks really good, doesn't he? The last couple of games we've seen him, his work rate is unbelievable, and that's why Spurs, just need to give Frank those two attacking players to really help us this season in all these competitions. We need attacking threat. Spurs they need weapons. They need game changers. They can't just rely on Kudos, and at this stage, there's just not enough in that team to get us there. I think overall the season, especially in big games, we need better players. Look, Frank, there's great beating Burnley, some good performances, but it's Burnley. Let's see how we get on throughout the season. Big Champions League matches, cup competitions. But Spurs need to get better in this transfer market by signing better attacking players. Eze, fantastic if we can get it done, but we need more. 100% need more. Guys, give us your thoughts, give us your feelings on anything I spoke about. Title contenders, what do you think? Who's favourites in your opinion? Anybody that's going to go under the radar this season who could be a threat, maybe not challenging for the title, but maybe a European spot? Um, yeah, give us your thoughts on anything I spoke about. What did you think of the Premier League opening weekend? Did you enjoy it? Did you watch many of the games? And yeah, let me know in the comments. Guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit different. Please smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you all tomorrow night, Beyond the Lane, episode 41. Join me, Nige, and guests. Yeah, should be a good one. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. And as always, come on, you Spurs.